An idea is the seed of reality. The greatest dreams begin in the mind as single thought, and sometimes an entire civilization is built around it. With one idea, a person changes, a society changes, a whole era shifts. Welcome to Unmute the Leader. I'm Ecem, and today we will explore the idea, seed of the reality. Our ideas are constantly coming from by what surrounds us. The environment, a concept that often feels beyond our control. From the moment we are born, the people and places we begin shaping what we love, what we reject, what feels sour, what feels sweet. Much of this is carried within us. Through our genes, through our first connections, these inheritances define our taste, our beliefs, even our emotional languages. At first, we may question them, later we start to accept them. They evolve into what we call personality, and then lifestyle, and then eventually culture. Actually, culture is a fascinating thing. It's our color, the way we eat, smile, and sometimes the way how we see the world. Across the globe, there are countless cultures and habits, each shaping how people act, think, or create. If you understand someone's cultural context, their behaviors become more predictable, even logical. But here is the paradox. If our actions and habits can be grouped and categorized so easily, how do new ideas ever born? Personally, I have always been excited how cultures are affecting us. The words we use, the colors we wear, even the dreams we chase. Sometimes I wonder which parts are truly mine and which were simply given to me by my culture or my family. New ideas actually rarely fall from the sky. They don't wait for divine inspiration. Most of the time, they are born exactly where we sit. If you're sitting under a tree, an apple might drop on your head and you might find gravity. Or if you are in a bathtub, you might discover the lifting force of the water. I think maybe history is full of such moments of realization, and all of them have one thing in common: a frame. Even though our ideas are shaped by our surroundings, the frame we draw around determines what actually reaches us. I mean, what we see, what we hear. By nature, of course, we absorb everything like sponges. If we cannot draw our own frame in the world of highlighting everything every second, we may lose ourselves. So today, we live in an age where we must choose what we absorb. Out of the thousands of pieces of information flowing past us every single day, we now decide what enters our minds. Within seconds, we can access any person, idea, or event happening anywhere in the world. Let me invite you to think. Think what distracts you daily. News, messages, even notifications from some applications that unsettle you or trigger anxiety. Sometimes they even make us forget who we are, where we came from, or where we are going. You may think you haven't learned anything big today, but if you pause long enough, you will notice your thoughts have shifted. It happens to me frequently. I sometimes wake up happy, but feeling sad after. I don't know. Days later, I might find myself asking, who am I again? How was my path? Is it because of only one notification or news that I saw? So, without a frame, we drift. At the end, what you give your attention, it grows day by day and becomes your reality. So, what I'm saying is, it starts with your decision. Decision to draw your own frame. And drawing your own frame to what you choose to learn, what you choose to ignore, at the end, shapes who you become. Coming back to my funny Newton example, I think Newton didn't discover gravity because an apple fell on his head. He discovered it because that he was already looking for. The apple was simply the final touch. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? Which country do I want to visit this year? What kind of company would I like to build in the future? What skill would I like to master? What kind of home do I want to live in? How do I want to make my living? And draw a frame around your answers. So let me give my story here. 4 years ago, right in the middle of my 20s, I had a good job in Istanbul and a good apartment close by the office with a company car, a partner of that time, and beautiful friends around me. Actually, everything was perfect. But day by day, I realized that I have a dream inside of me still waiting. I turned it to idea to say, what if I go to a master's study in one of the maybe amazing university in abroad? What would my life look like? Do I really want it? Or I don't know, is it like just a dream? All answers at that time were yes. And I started to plan this journey, starting from days and then weeks and then months. I built a strategy for it. When, how, in which reason? I will come back to this story, maybe in the next episodes. Once you define your frame, you will start to see the right information coming into your focus. And each new day adds another piece to the picture. And you will begin leaving out whatever doesn't serve your path, whatever doesn't help you grow and more forward. This is exactly how discipline works. Day by day, step by step, building your own future according to your idea or just one dream. Planning your own agenda accordingly. I know such good friends, they are having a good discipline in their life and they are much more successful than me. And I love them. I'm so inspiring from them. So, what to learn this week, this month? Then it follows a year. Our direction follows our attention. Awareness begins with the question we ask ourselves. So, of course, when your idea leaves your mind, it starts negotiating with the world. It faces different opinions, systems, structures, maybe friends, all trying to reshape it for you. Yes, of course. Actually, we learned that having a vision for the future is one thing and protecting it's another. So let me take you to business life to reflect ideas better. Companies know this feeling well. They are in their own way living organisms, driven by same desires we have to matter, to grow, to be chosen. And just like us, they must evolve constantly to survive. There are quite rules in the business, like innovate or disappear. It sounds maybe brutal, but at the same time, its core, it's the same rhythm we all live by, like change or become irrelevant, grow or fade. But innovation isn't just about the technology or just a rhythm or just to innovating something. It's about courage. The courage to look at something that already works and say, okay, what if we destroyed this? To rebuild it better. There is an economist named Schumpeter who called this creative destruction, a poetic contradiction. The idea that progress demands some endings, that something must break for something greater to emerge. We all go through our own kind of creative destruction. The job that no longer fits, the version of ourselves that stops feeling alive. Letting go hurts, I know, but isn't a loss. It's a renewal. So it happens in nature, it happens in art, it happens in us. Very well-known companies understand this rhythm deeply. Like every September, they don't just release a new phone, they reinvent themselves. They compete with yesterday's version of who they were. They destroy their own success before someone else can. And maybe that's what true leadership is. To outgrow who you were before life forces you to. I believe there are some key experiences in our lives. Like I call them milestones. Sometimes a friend could be your milestone, or sometimes a school hobby, an illness, a stressful manager, travel, or even a trouble. Actually, according to our experiences, we are giving our decisions, like decisions that shape our ways slightly. Like, I will never do project management because this and this. I didn't like production. I want to work in office because this and this. Did you see how much decision did we make already? And Let me tell what will happen. Those decisions, actually, they will create your own core values. You will evaluate maybe your next steps or options based on your values. You would become a person who has justice or empathy, or you can continue arrogant in your life. Let me tell also my example to that. Like, because of my 3 different internship experience in manufacturing area, basically in the shop floor, I decided to try, okay, 4th and 5th internships in sales and marketing. Then I gave my final decision to use my technical engineering background in more sales and maybe people seeing positions. That's why I decided to go to, okay, IT sector, which gives me the technical area, and becoming pre-sales in IT sector as a first job experience was just the best life-shifting decision. Do you see that one idea of trying something new shaped my path? But every idea, brilliant. But every idea, no matter how brilliant, has a life cycle, a natural curve known as S-curve in the literature. It starts with a spark of innovation, grows rapidly, then slows down as it matures. At some point, it ends. In our personal lives, we feel this too, that quiet hunger for change when something familiar starts feeling too small. That's the moment when we crave a new challenge, a new city, a new project, a new version of ourselves. So, okay, then let's come. You found your idea to direction for your future, and it's maybe a new home, new project, whatever. You structured it, as I told, day by day, step by step. Then what? Maybe that's the hardest part. Waiting. Then the question to you, when the excitement fades and progress slows, can you still believe in your idea? Because many times, growth is rarely loud. It happens in silence, in those invisible hours when nothing seems to move. But that's where everything truly forms. If we go again beyond our individual lives and come to businesses, in most companies, ideas don't die from rejection. They die from silence. From meetings that drain our souls, and from the lack of trust between minds that should be building together. When people stop believing in each other, brilliance loses its own oxygen. But when trust returns, when different minds again to listen, ask, and create together, and maybe dreamers speak the same language, harmony comes back. And harmony is what turns ideas into reality. So that's why great ideas don't belong to titles or companies. They belong to connection. And maybe that's what leadership really means. It's, in my words, not commending others, but daring to involve first, to unmute an idea, to take responsibility for it, to give it space, even no one understands it yet, to protect it through confusion, rejection, or doubt until it can stand on its own. Every idea is a seed. And what makes it grow is not luck or timing, it's patience and presence and the people who believe in it before it makes sense. Because that's what unmuting really is, giving voice to what once was silent, letting it breathe, travel, or transform. So if we look back in this episode, it all begins with attention, with what we choose to see, what we choose to listen. Our ideas grow from that space, from every sound, every moment, every silence that shaped us. And along the way, we saw how culture, environment, and focus define the soil they grow in. Okay, we moved outward to the world of innovation, courage, renewal, and we saw the companies. So the rhythm is always the same. Something must end for something new to begin. That's not just strategy, that's nature. It's us. We break, we rebuild, we grow. So thank you for listening. This was the Unmute the Leader. I hope you will find the connections with my following guest speaker episode. From my company, Valentic, Dieter Dragon, my manager, will be there. and we will ask him to his dreams. See you in next episode.